Hi, Grandpa. Today we're going to talk about the environment and how you've seen changes over the last couple of years and over your lifetime. So first, I would like to start out with what type of pollution do you see in your area from day to day?
First of all, the pollution problem is something that's been going on for quite some time. We've had a lot of accumulation of more pollution than we have in the past, and it's getting in our waterways and our lakes and so forth, and streams, and it's polluting our environment to a point of giving us probably needs a lot of corrections in it. And as far as the litter laws are concerned, it's out there, but we are not having any controls on them because of not being caught and doing different things of it. So it's important that we get more awareness, I guess, more than anything, of the environment.
Yeah, I agree. So there are litter laws in place, such as fines, but you don't see them being emphasized or totally followed in our area.
They're not controlled, and they're not, so to speak, clamped down on it to fine them, that type of thing. It's more of a loose type law, and it's not being enforced.
I agree, for sure. So as a farmer, over the years, how have you seen laws in place for spreading manure and when you can harvest and things like that?
In the laws in the environment now is that our farming in the last few years has changed considerable because of our water pollutions in our lake. In our case, our lake here, Grand Lake, it's got the algae bloom on it, and it's been very excessive. We're not permitted to boat, to swim, and so forth in it. So by having that, that made us laws in our farming communities of not being able to spread manure when we were at liberty with before, like we are today. They can control us, tell us when to do it, and it has to be on frozen ground, and the runoff has to be protected. And our waterways have to have haylage along the side of the creeks to keep the runoff from going directly into the water. This is a catching basin, so to speak. Keeps our streams hopefully more clean, keeps the lake hopefully coming down in our pollution. But right now it's pretty much a big problem.
Yeah, of the laws and some of the more cracking down taking place within the last couple of years?
Yeah, they've cracked down considerably. They've controlled us quite a bit. We've never had that control before. Against us, we had more and more liberty than what we could do, but now our farming has changed considerable because of that.
Have you seen, like, whenever they did start cracking down more, has it made farming harder for you, or has it really not made it that much harder? You just have to be more conscious?
It didn't make it harder. It's just the idea we can't do when we normally have to do, would want to do it. For example, we have to store our manure now. Rather, we used to take it out, spread it when we wanted to, but now we got to pile it, and maintain it to a certain point, and that date has to come before we can put it out on our ground and so forth. So it's took a little bit of change in our community, and as far as our farming setup, it's changes too, because we got to have storage facilities now, where in the past we didn't have storage facilities.
So you said this was prompted by Grand Lake having an algae problem?
Right, that brought it on.
So have they actually found a positive correlation between when you spread manure, the runoff, to actually causing it, or is it more of an assumption still?
Well, they claim they are, but our pollution is still there, and our algae problem is still there. It's not decreased that very much, if any. Our lake is still being polluted somewhat, and it's not totally our problem. I think it's other things that's polluting our lake as well. But we, as farmers, and with the watersheds we have, it's going to be a lot more. That's the problem, but it's not totally the lake problem.
So as you've seen all the changes for your farming and the types of pollution, we're going to lead to more of a proactive in helping the environment. You know, we have had over the years the increases in the fossil fuels burning, and you know, back in the day, more of the businesses had the steam rolling out and stuff like that. So not only have you seen changes in the way farmers can go about things, have you seen changes working in factories in the way that they're helping the environment and are hurting the environment? You know, is they're becoming more restricted and more conscious, or do you think that we're just not seeing it as much because it's not a main focus?
I think our factories has come a long ways over the years. I think first of all, in the early years, we had the smokestack sticking with the soot coming out of those and then going into the air environment, and the housing people around the factories and in the residentials and the towns themselves and breathing on this soot environment and got in their lungs and so forth. It's probably more of a hazard to the health environment. And then we got these sweepers, what they call in the stacks now, and sweeps the soot off the air before it releases into the air. I think that's always a very positive thing on it. I think we got more getting away from the coal burning type thing, and we're going in more solar panels, wind type panel, winds, so forth. So we come a long ways in that environment studies on that. Long ways.
Awesome. Grandpa, I thank you for spending the day with me and talking about pollution and how you've seen the changes over the last couple of years.
Okay.
Thank
you
you
very much.